Hi, this is Paul with Best of the West, Arizona, and we're going to talk about target acquisition, and I'll take you through some of the steps that we do when we're doing target acquisition training with our shooting school customers and students. Target acquisition is arguably one of the most challenging things for a hunter. It's one thing to see your prey in the binoculars, and it's quite another to take that now and acquire that animal through the rifle scope. So I'm going to talk about the steps that I take as a hunter and the steps that we take our students through to prepare them for hunting in the field. First of all, we acquire our target through the binoculars, and this is the easy part, right? We've now spotted our buck, we spotted our bull. Now, the hard part is taking that from here, getting down on the ground in a prone position or whatever shooting position we're using, and then reacquiring that animal through the rifle scope. So we take a few deliberate steps. I can see my target, but I'm also looking at the terrain features. I'm looking at the terrain itself, but also the features of that terrain. For example, the vegetation, other rocks, other prominent features such as dead trees or down trees or different color rocks or maybe different color soil, maybe trees shaped in a particular way. But some sort of feature on that ridge, we're looking 500 to 600 yards away, so I can pick out those features. But what I want to do is be able to acquire my target in the optic and then break my eye from the scope and reacquire it. So I want to be able to see it with my naked eye, and again, I can see those features. I'm looking at a dead pine tree that's broke off halfway up. I'm looking at another dead pine tree laying horizontal right above my target, so now I can see my target in the scope, in the binoculars, and I can also see them with the naked eye. Now I'm going to take that, I'm going to keep my eye on that target, and I'm going to come down to where I'm going to be shooting. The first thing I want to do is get down. I'm always going to try to shoot prone whenever possible, but I want to square up my shoulders to the target. This is key. I know where my buck or my bull is. I'm going to square up my shoulders, but also important, I want to square up my rifle. So using the muzzle of my rifle, I'm going to point it directly at my target. So I'm looking at lining up my muzzle with the target, and this is really going to help me as a hunter now when I go from this position to behind the rifle. So now I know my rifle is squared up to the target. I just ease in up behind it, pick up the scope, pick up the rifle, and bam, I'm on target in a matter of seconds. Quite literally in a matter of seconds. Now that was a very deliberate process, but if you practice that way, you do it over and over, then it just comes naturally in the field, and this is a great way to help you get on target fast. That's target acquisition, and again, I'm Paul with Best of the West, Arizona.